I'm Father Tom Bohlin. Today let's talk about fire. In Luke 14, Jesus says, I've come to cast fire on the earth, and would that it were already burning. What is this fire he's talking about? It's the fire of the Holy Spirit, which transforms us to live holy lives. But the fact is, often the default mode for modern Christians is not holiness, but mediocrity. We often behave no different from the secular environment in which we live, going with the flow. So Christ's fire is not penetrating society. In the battle for Christ, the mediocre Christian, the lukewarm Christian, is not really even in the game. He's not a player. He's on the sideline, munching on a hot dog. Maybe he's even rooting for the wrong side. The mediocre Christian is not a concern for the devil. What really concerns Satan is the Christian who strives for holiness. Now, he or she is a threat. I propose that the default mode for every Christian should be to strive daily for holiness, to follow Christ as a true disciple. It was the fire of the first Christians that transformed the pagan world 2,000 years ago, and it can happen again today. Why is there no peace in the world today? Why is there so much violence, crime, homelessness, hopelessness, addictions, hatred? It's because Christians who should be the fire of Christ and bring the light of Christ's love to the world often settle for mediocrity. As Christians, we're called to spread the blaze. Think for a moment of your old backyard grill when you pour in the charcoal and then you try to get one or two of those coals lit, and then you come back in 20 minutes and they're all burning. God needs us to be that burning coal in our community, in our home, in our family, in our church, in our place of work, that sets the others on fire. But you might say, yeah, but why even try? There's so many people, it's so hard, the world is so big. I think we have to look at the scene where Jesus feeds the 5,000. He'd been preaching all day, and it was getting dark, and the people needed some food. And Jesus says to his disciples, how can we feed these people? And they say, it's impossible. But Andrew comes up and says, there's a boy here who has 5 loaves and 2 fish. But what are these among so many? Jesus said, make the people sit down. Now there was much grass in the place, so the men sat down, in number about 5,000. Jesus then took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed them to those who were seated. So also the fish, as much as they wanted. And when they had eaten their fill, he told the disciples, gather up the fragments left over, that nothing may be lost. So they gathered them up in 12 baskets full. That young boy could have said, what are my 5 loaves and 2 fish among all these people? I'll just kind of take it and go out and eat it myself. But he didn't. He brought it forward and gave it to Jesus. And Jesus does the miracle with it. He feeds that great crowd. If you and I put the little we have, our life, into his hands, he will do wonders with it. Christ is alive and he's passing by right now. You and I are the disciples of this generation. We can listen and walk away like many did, or we can decide to follow him and let his words and his life set our heart aflame. Let's remember, in order to set the world ablaze one person at a time, we have to start with the one person we can most impact, ourselves. Amen.